Now, Tamara is a 2005 supernatural revenge horror that tells the story of how an awkward high school girl returns from the dead to get revenge on a group of friends who tormented her. No! Now, in the end, Tamara was much better than I thought. Jenna Dewan plays the awkward and seductive Tamara to perfection. Now, when she's the awkward girl being bullied, you are really pulling for her to get revenge. But when she becomes the temptress, you are then hoping someone puts a stop to her. And this movie attempts to make it a sort of Carrie scenario, but Tamara is so evil and so calculated that you start pulling for the bullies and the barren wife by the end of things. And while this movie starts out small and confined, but by the end of it, it's a world building free for all. And I'm telling you, no one is safe from Tamara.
Leave him alone! I'm afraid it's too late.
Yes, I highly recommend this movie.
You know the sacrifice I made to be with you. I died for you.
You don't like me, do you? Oh, no, I like you a lot. Prove it.
Now, They're Playing with Fire is a 1984 horror thriller that tells the story of how a sexy but very married college professor seduces her student, which spirals into a web of deceit and murder. Now, in the end, They're Playing with Fire is a unique presentation. It presents itself like a love triangle gone wrong, but a better description would be a forbidding passion mixed with a whodunit slasher movie. Now, if that sounds like a mouthful, that's because it is. This movie doesn't boast the best kills outside of the mom and grandmother, but it has a high body count and uses a lot of slasher ideas. I mean, you have a college student getting an all-you-can-eat buffet with his hot teacher, a literal dream for any young boy. And the teacher is played by Sybil Danning, who spends the majority of this movie without clothes. And even when she has clothes on, the clothes themselves are struggling to stay on. But to bring this concept to modern terms, it's like a college kid getting to sleep with Scarlett Johansson. So there's very little he won't do for her when he knows that she's the prize. And of course, I highly recommend this movie.
Are you gonna cry, Terry, huh? Are you gonna cry?
Now, All Cheerleaders Die is a 2013 comedy horror remake of a 2001 movie of the same name. Now, this movie tells the story of how a fatal accident ignites a blood feud between a group of cheerleaders and a football team. Now, in the end, All Cheerleaders Die was a pleasant surprise. I remember having the opportunity to watch this countless of times and always deciding for something else. But when I finally watched it, it was everything you can ask for in a horror. If bloody kills are your thing, then this movie has it. If hot girls are your thing, then this movie has it. If you're looking for a movie to have fun with, but also carries a lot of weight in its execution, then you must watch this movie.
Wanna see something?
May God have mercy on your soul. Stop!
Now, My Best Friend is a Vampire is a 1987 comedy horror that tells the story of a teenage boy who, after being seduced by an older woman, gets turned into a vampire. But now he must deal with the pros and cons of his newfound gifts.
Forget, Professor. I'm a vampire that has certain advantages.
Now, in the end, My Best Friend is a Vampire was a really good movie. Yes, it has horror elements, but it's more of a coming-of-age comedy that has themes of puberty, teenage dating, sexual awakening, and a coming to terms with homosexuality, all wrapped up in a vampire movie. In fact, outside of the vampiric turns, no one gets murdered in this movie. It's like a PG-13 Fright Night. But in saying that, don't think that this movie is bad. It's actually great. It's just less about the gore and more about the lore. And if you haven't seen it, then be sure to check it out, as I highly recommend this movie.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter now, right? He's dead!
Now, Totally Killer is a 2023 horror comedy that tells the story of the Sweet 16 killer.
A young woman just gave me a warning.
Who returns 35 years after his first murder spree to claim another victim.
Okay, this really isn't funny.
But 17-year-old Jamie accidentally travels back in time to 1987.
Excuse me. What year is it?
1987. The 80s are almost over and I haven't even tried coke yet.
Determined to stop the killer before he can start. Now, in the end, Totally Killer was like, well, Totally Killer. I enjoyed the movie, and it was 1980s overload. I mean, I love the atmosphere, the Back to the Future-esque story, and a unique slasher all rolled into one. And being an 80s baby, I have an affinity for that era.
Can't get in a car with you, you're a total stranger. You could be a serial killer. Would a serial killer wear Gloria Vanderbilt?
And this movie delivered. I mean, the kills are bloody and the action sequences are top notch. Now, you will probably be surprised just how many fight sequences happen in this slasher movie. Also, the dichotomy this movie shows where Jamie is being from 2023, she finds it off-putting and sometimes offensive living based on the morality back in the 80s.
And there's the racism.
That sort of back and forth was a really cool way to look at things, and it didn't come off as preachy. It was the right blend of comedy, sci-fi, and horror.
Oh, ew, I don't do blowjobs. You pee out of that thing.
Just think, maybe if she did do blowjobs, she'd still be alive.
Yeah, let's not make that the lesson.
Yes, I highly recommend this title.
How is this school issued?
Let's go!
We look like we work at Hooters.
And until next time, when CEDtalks horror.